Hi, Charlotte.
Hey, Madeline.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm great. We're back.
I love doing this.
So do I.
There is some really good stuff this week.
There was a lot of things that came to light that were just surprising and interesting. And also in some sports we haven't spent a ton of time talking about.
Yes.
Like
that's
baseball.
That's a
teaser.
tease. That's called a tease in the biz, folks.
Ooh, tease.
But we do have to start with football.
Yeah, we do.
Because Joe Burrow wore a cropped powder blue suit that did not look like the suit that Lloyd Christmas wears in Dumb and Dumber.
Wait, yes. That is exactly what it looks like.
And he plays for the Bengals, which is orange, so someone else should have worn the orange suit and been hairy.
Yes.
Huge missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. However, the suit was not a costume from Dumb and Dumber. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it didn't come from the archives, the production archives. It is actually a custom aloe suit. And if you don't know what aloe is, as in aloe yoga.
Like the people who make my leggings.
Correct. Aloe yoga. Joe Burrow is like a brand partner, or he's sponsored by Aloe. And they custom made him this blue crop suit.
Okay.
Like it not on my bingo card.
No. I feel like they have been getting more into like normal clothes. I feel like there's this trend right now where companies that make athleisure are trying to make bizleisure. You know, they're trying to do trousers.
Bizleisure. Yeah, like the Lululemon ones. Do you know what I'm talking about that men wear?
Yes, which they look good.
Yes.
But for Aloe to be like, not only are we going to do, like, it's like, cool, I get casual wear.
Yes.
Great.
Right.
Suits.
That feels like a jump. And I don't mean that in an athletic sense. Okay. I don't mean that in athletic sense. I also think in their mind, are they envisioning they're heading into high fashion, like that they want to be within the likes of like, it's like Louis Vuitton, Dior, Aloe Yoga, you know?
That is such a great, like, what is their end goal?
What's their end goal?
Here's my question for you. Do we think the suit, for some reason I have in my head that it was like neoprene?
It does kind of look like
Do you know what
neoprene.
I mean? That where I feel like a lot of times athleisure brands will be like, we want to make this fancy, and that said,
it's performance.
I love Aloe Yoga.
We love Aloe Yoga.
And if you want to sponsor us, we will also wear Aloe Yoga suits. We would look sick in an Aloe Yoga suit.
I'm not trying to like toot our own horns, but I think we'd look amazing.
Here's the thing. We're both tall ladies.
We're both tall.
Joe Burrow's
we love
tall.
trousers.
We love trousers.
Love a trouser.
I love neoprene. I really do. Well, yeah.
That was specific, Charlotte.
No, I do. I like a neoprene, like, wasn't that a thing a while ago where it was like people were making these jackets and they like looked a little bit like scuba suits?
Yes. I feel like that's still a thing.
Well, I'm into it.
Okay, well, I learn something new about Charlotte every day.
Just have to keep you on your toes. Here's the thing. The suit was sort of the highlight of Joe Burrow because, well, that's not true. Joe Burrow has the highest quarterback rating in the entire NFL right now.
What's a quarterback rating?
How good they are.
Okay,
it's like a bunch of stats
so it's a
Yelp
together. Like a Yelp review for a quarterback. No?
Yes. No, it's like it's not as subjective.
Okay.
It's like the things they have done all put together.
Oh, okay. It's not like a reporter giving him a rating. It's based on just factual stats.
Yeah, it's not like college football where it's like AP poll and people vote, or like the college football.
You know what it's like?
Committee.
It's like when. Do you remember when you would apply to college? Maybe I was psycho and I was very lame and did this. I would look at the breakdown of SAT and AP test scores and ACT test scores of who was admitted to the schools I was applying to, and looking at the averages of like who were the more likely to get accepted.
What was that software called? Because it would put it on a graph for you.
What?
Oh yeah,
I
went to psycho prep school.
Well, aren't you special?
I
had
awful.
No preps.
It was awful.
I had none. But I remember like looking at a lot of PDFs. And Apple effing the phrase SAT and then looking at like what were the scores that got people into this school.
So you were compiling your own stats.
I was making my own quarterback ratings for random liberal arts schools that I did not get into, by the way.
You were doing Moneyball for college.
Yes. Wait, I was.
You were, what was his name? Barry Bean, who Brad Pitt plays in Moneyball?
I was going to say Barry Bonds, but that's not the right baseball guy.
Should I look this up?
Yeah, look it up.
Okay. Here's the thing. I also didn't get into any schools that I applied to.
No.
I got into Colby College where I ended up going off the wait list.
Oh, that's good.
And look at us now.
You
don't need to
You don't.
be the best at everything.
You don't need a fancy school.
No, you super don't.
Support your state schools.
Brad Pitt. What was I Googling?
Moneyball.
Billy Bean. You were the Billy Bean of college admissions.
That was me.
I'm so proud of you.
Wow.
You've always been a renegade. Renaissance woman?
Something like that.
All right. Anyway, so Joe Burrow's really good at football, but the Bengals are 4-7. They have a horrible record.
Is really bad.
And he's amazing. And they just keep screwing it up. And it's sort of like some of their games have been where it's not luck because you shouldn't let a game get to the point where luck can win it, but it's been these last second things.
Yeah.
And then they lose. And Joe looks so sad with his frosted tips growing out.
There's nothing worse than your cool haircut growing out while you're also unhappy. Is there anything worse? No. Poor guy. Can he get traded?
Saying that just brought back, I felt that viscerally.
There's nothing worse.
No.
It's like when he got this cool hairdo, the confidence going into the season with these cool hairstyles. Bleach. Cropped aloe suits. And then his employer doesn't deliver for him.
No, this really is a question of when you're at a company and you're a high performer and that stock where you have equity in it, it just keeps going down even though you are doing the most and the best all the time.
Doing the best that you can. Can you get traded? No, that's not how it works in football.
I mean...
You can't get traded partially through the season in football, right?
You can, but it is very rare... Joe Burrow signed a massive deal with the Bengals. He is their quarterback of the future. He's the franchise quarterback, basically. They've put all their eggs in his basket.
Oh, no.
But somehow they haven't put the right eggs around him.
Yeah. He's got a lot of bad eggs in that basket. Do you think... Okay, I'm going to have a new theory here.
Okay.
It is not warranted or backed up by any facts whatsoever. Do you think so? Joe Burrow tends to wear cool outfits.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Aloe yoga example. Do you think that him wearing that is actually maybe like a curse? And maybe if he just resets, because he's got a lot of confidence. He looks good, he's hot, he's good at his job, but his employer is not supporting him. That maybe if he just resets energetically, it's like saging the room by wearing just some sweatpants and just a black t-shirt.
This is what Asia Wilson did when the Aces were sucking last season. Do you remember that?
No.
She stopped doing tunnel fits and wore just a plain white t-shirt because she was like, I cannot dress. Wow.
I mean, okay, I feel like Joe Burrow next week, if you're listening, because of course he's listening, just wear a black t-shirt and sweats.
Take a reset. You know what Asia Wilson was? She was the MVP of the WNBA.
So there we go.
No one better to take an example from.
Yeah. Okay. I think
also, if you're Joe Burrow's stylist and your name is Kyle Smith and you were just featured in Vogue and we read about you, which we did, and you want to come on the podcast,
please,
we would love to talk to you because I do think some of Joe Burrow's fits have been unbelievably
They're incredible.
Cool.
They're incredible.
The quilted pink suit that he wore,
so good.
That was sort of looked like something Paige Beckers, the UConn basketball star, would wear.
Yeah.
Which is truly one of the highest compliments I could give to an outfit.
100%.
She has impeccable
There's
style.
no higher compliment. Yeah. Come on the pod.
Yeah.
Well, it's switching gears, but also in the kind of entertainment adjacent football space. Mm-hmm. It was just announced that Beyoncé is performing at the Netflix Christmas game this year.
How do we think that's going to go?
I mean, she's going to perform from Cowboy Carter.
She's
right?
Oh, I'm not worried. She's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
she hasn't performed Cowboy Carter live. Nope. I'm obsessed with the album. Can't wait to hear it. But Madeline, their streams sucked so much for the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, which I don't even want to talk about because we're not going to talk about it. So pathetic. But it was 60 million households I think across the U.S. tuned in, and the stream just kept buffering for people and kept breaking. And I've just seen so many people be like, Roger Goodell. If the NFL streams don't work on Christmas, Jerry Jones and Roger Goodell will together. Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, Roger Goodell, commissioner of the NFL, go to Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos' house.
Yes.
And give him a swirly. They're going to put that man's head in a toilet if these streams don't work.
100%, because you cannot buffer Beyonce. Could you imagine she's singing 16 carriages?
Okay, so then you've got
Beyonce's face is buffered.
Also coming to your house to kick your ass.
And her bodyguard. You know, she has like a famous bodyguard.
Yeah.
There's no way they can have that buffer. You can't buffer Beyonce. I'm sorry. You just can't.
It would be rude beyond, it would be an affront to America.
It would be an affront to America. I agree.
So here's my question. Do you think they're confident enough in their tech? Like, do they have a plan to fix it, to put Beyonce there? Because already 2 games on Christmas with good teams is a huge draw. Like so many people, but then you add Beyonce.
Yeah.
And then anybody who doesn't like football but likes Beyonce, they're tuning. That's going to be more than the Tyson Jake Paul fight. At least I hope. But
yeah, I feel like they've got to revamp some internal tech that I don't understand, but they've got to do it. I do wonder, do you think that Beyonce performing, it's not the halftime. We don't know what she's performing yet. It just said performing.
No,
is it the halftime?
I believe it was at halftime.
Okay.
But she's doing it.
She's performing. Do you think she's going to announce a tour after the performance?
Oh my God.
Like on her Instagram.
I hadn't thought about that.
Give us the gift for Christmas of a new Beyonce tour.
Oh, I will spend so much money. I will
be so good.
That album live.
Oh my God. I feel like she should do it not in stadiums. I mean, she will do stadiums if she goes on tour with this album. But like, how good would that be in like a more intimate venue?
I mean, yeah, if you have $1 million to buy a ticket.
Yeah, they're like, each ticket is $1 million. The nosebleeds are 600,000. A discount.
And you're like, okay, well,
I know.
But if they did that at a smaller venue and then streamed it on Netflix, then it's the cost of a Netflix subscription.
Ted Sarandos.
Are we onto something?
Call us.
Is this their plan?
I mean, here's the thing. I always think about this. Like, when celebrities do things like this, there's a reason. There's something else going on. Beyonce did not just wake up being like, I'd like to spend my Christmas performing on national Netflix with a risky stream if there is not another reason for it.
You're so right.
Celebrities just don't do that sort of thing.
No, and she doesn't need the money.
For example, last year's Super Bowl, and pretty much I feel like every Super Bowl halftime performance previously, there's been an album release closely tied to when they're doing the performance. Usher had an album come out.
Yes. And because the performers have to pay for their halftime show themselves.
Correct.
So you're not going to be...
They don't have to pay for the halftime show.
They have to pay for the production.
No.
Don't they?
No. I believe the NFL gives them a budget, but they are not paid to do it. I'm pretty sure. We can fact check it.
And maybe they put in more money than the budget if they feel
I think that NFL gives them a certain amount of money for the production.
But it's not like a paid appearance.
I don't think
so.
They're
they
paid.
Have to be getting some, like Rihanna. When
Correct.
she did the halftime show, her streams, she just like made $1 bajillion.
Correct. That's why they do it.
Right.
It's like there's that incentive. I feel like Netflix, though, did pay Beyonce.
I think so, too.
But it's also part of something larger. It goes all the way to the top, as we've learned.
It goes.
So if anyone has any thoughts or predictions on why you think Beyonce is doing this other than to entertain the world, please tell us.
Or
I'm curious.
Like, if you've got real inside intel. Look, if you work for Netflix, we are very discreet here. You can DM us, and we will make sure no one ever knows your name.
Yes, at Sports Gossip
This is a free press.
Free press. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. Her costumes are just like...
I hope she's doing like multiple songs. Like, we don't know like how many songs is she doing. We don't know anything.
She will probably do Texas Hold'em, right?
I'm sure.
As the most famous
I just
song
hope she does that, Spaghetti, and 16 Carriages.
And maybe Yaya would be incredible live. I mean, it would all be incredible live.
Guess we'll see.
Okay, it's that time of the show, Madeline. It's time for our Tom Brady update of the week. Because here's the thing. This man is retired from football. He is broadcasting games. He is a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. He's never been more active, I would argue, on social media. This man is everywhere. Every time I open Instagram, it's like Tom Brady, the little pink circle around his story, and I'm like, click.
Yeah.
And last week, I guess it was Friday, or Thursday, whatever, it doesn't matter. He was at the Knicks game with his son, Jack. And Madeline, we could do a whole hour on the eyeglasses he was wearing.
He's wearing like Jeffrey Dahmer-esque glasses. Of course, I reverse Google image search the glasses.
Ooh, what are they?
I can't find them because, again, they're just like wireframe glasses that I'm sure they cost $700. I feel like they're like
At
that.
least.
Do you know that brand, Jacques Marie
Yes.
Mage? Is that the name of it?
Jacques Marie Mage.
I feel like they're like that adjacent. What?
It's
I mean, I want those glasses. They're so expensive. They're like $600 for.
They are insane.
Absurd. But I want them.
Yeah, same. I've
niche,
held
but-
a pair. I've held a pair.
You've held a pair.
The weight, the
Yeah.
weight of a good pair of sunglasses.
Well, I feel like they're in that price bracket, I would imagine. But also, they could be Warby Parker. Who knows?
Probably not.
Probably not.
They could be Jacques Marie Mage themselves.
Maybe they made them a custom pair.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like they could be custom if you couldn't find them reverse.
I couldn't find them
search.
reverse image. If anyone knows who made his glasses, please let us know. But those glasses, have you ever seen Tom Brady wear glasses like that?
No.
Or glasses, period.
No.
Did you know he had, like, are they prescription or are they just accessory fashion glasses?
I don't know. I feel like maybe in the recesses of my brain somewhere there's like a deep memory of Tom Brady wearing glasses before at some event or something, but they have never been aviator style.
Never.
And it's a choice to wear them to an event like that. It's like he posted a picture of him and his son Jack and said, luckiest dad in the world or something.
Yeah.
With the 3 hearts. So I have a feeling, look, Madeline, here, this goes all the way to the top. Remember when Giselle was pregnant?
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say. And he posted the story with the Fleetwood Mac song and he put 3 hearts on it. And we were guessing that he probably did post that himself because it felt very much like you just put 3 hearts. I think he put 3 hearts with his son. So, and they were the only 2 people. He didn't have like a team at the game with him, and he posted it as the game was happening. Tom Brady is a 3-heart man.
He's a 3-heart man. I think that is the signature that we know he's posted it himself, and a social media manager has not posted it. You're 100% correct.
Anytime you see 3 hearts on a Tom Brady story, that man posted
We've
it
cracked the code.
himself.
We've cracked the code. Wow. I knew you were going to say it. I was like, yes, you're so right. I knew it. I was like, the second you said it, I was like, 100% that he posted that himself. Him wearing those glasses, going to a Knicks game, also right after his ex-wife just announced she's having a baby with a hot jiu-jitsu instructor. Again, just is so divorced dad. I know we keep saying that, but it really is. The glasses, I'm like, that is like, if he had been married, I feel like if he was with Giselle and he was about to walk out of the house in those glasses, she'd be like, take those glasses off.
She'd be like, babe,
you're not wearing those.
We need to talk. First of all,
who approved?
When did you buy those behind my back?
When did you buy those? Who approved? Because I feel like she would not have approved of those. He doesn't look bad. Like, I'm not saying he looks bad, but it just feels so out of character. He feels like he is acting as a character of himself.
It feels more like a costume than it does a natural thing he would wear. And he wears like pretty classic stuff.
Yes.
You know, he'll wear like a cashmere sweater.
Yeah.
Well-fitting pants. Like his suits are good. He's not a bad or sort of gaudy dresser.
Right.
So to add those as a choice and like, people are going to notice.
Yeah.
He also apparently threw a football to Spike Lee, the film director who's a massive Knicks fan.
That's fun.
During a timeout or something.
All right. He threw multiple footballs during the game. He signed them and threw them into the crowd.
So did he have footballs under his chair?
Who brought the footballs? Did he bring a bag of footballs? You know, when like I actually saw a man on the subway a couple days ago. He just had like a bag of basketballs. He clearly is like a coach of a team. And I was like, man, that is a lot of schlepping.
It's so much.
Did he schlep some balls?
Tom Brady was schlepping
over his shoulder.
Maybe that's why he brought Jack. He was like, buddy,
you got to carry these footballs.
My shoulder's been feeling a little funky. I'm not as pliable as I used to be.
Yes. I used to know someone who worked for the Knicks. Unfortunately, they don't work there anymore, but I wish I could ask, like, did they have those prepped? Was this a PR thing? He approved it in advance that he would sign some footballs and throw them in the crowd. Probably yes. This is 9 times out of 10 things like that are prepped.
But this is the stuff we want to know.
We want to know. If anyone works for the Knicks and or MSG and knows, but I don't feel like he brought those footballs himself. But I feel like he approved the idea in advance.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
That would, now that we're saying it out loud,
he didn't go to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Insane. Even if someone in his camp was like, Tom, listen, you're going to the Knicks game. I don't think you're famous enough. I think we've got to do a gimmick. Yeah. Why don't you bring some footballs? He's like, I'm literally the most famous.
Correct. He's the guy.
It's me and LeBron.
Correct. Like, he is the most famous football player. Like, is that going to work?
Serena Williams.
Yeah, right. It's like he is the guy.
He's sports.
Yeah. I think I've maybe told you about this.
What?
But when I went to the Olympics and we were at the gymnastics final day, which with medal gate.
I can't believe you saw that live.
No, it was crazy. But never forget, Tom Brady, though, was sitting there in the crowd and he was just in like a normal seat. And there's just something funny about, he's really tall and he was just like a couple sections over from us and he's just with his daughter, like crouched in the seat.
Really? He was in a normal seat?
Yes. And I don't even think he was on an aisle.
What?
He was just he was not in a box. He was in a normal seat.
This is blowing my mind.
Stars are just like us. Anyways, so he was there and he was like just taking photos the whole time. It was great.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it was great. And it is in an episode of his vlog.
So maybe he did it for the vlog to look like he's a normal dad who sits in the stands.
Stars are just like us. I actually don't know. I mean, it's France.
It's hard to get a ticket.
I feel like they're like, we don't have suites.
Like,
you just must sit with the plebeians. Wow.
We are not impressed by celebrity.
Yeah, I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it was a pretty small venue and I don't think that there were actually really any boxes from what I recall. There was kind of like a designated section for the parents and stuff, but it's not a box. It's just like normal seats.
I just love how the French have really kept the commitment to like chopping rich people's heads off in like small ways.
Yes.
You know?
So Tom Brady, I'm like, well, he's like walking. I'm like, is that Tom Brady?
That's a wild
No
sighting.
security. No security.
Really?
Just coming into his seats. Eventually, like people started realizing like, is that Tom Brady? And so then eventually, like, I think they kind of were like, okay, you can go.
I love that.
He didn't stay the whole time, but he was there for like the main moments.
I want to know how aware people in other countries are of Tom Brady.
Well,
I mean, I guess it was a lot of Americans.
It was definitely a lot of Americans. But I mean,
that question still stands though.
Still stands.
I feel like pretty.
Great question. I feel like people know who he is.
Okay, so at that same Knicks game, Anne Hathaway was there with her son sitting courtside. And OG Anunoby, player for the Knicks, crashed into the courtside seat, which, to our credit, we have talked about this before. We've talked about being scared to sit courtside because you would get crashed into.
Yes.
Not saying if someone offered it, I would turn it down.
We will go.
You know, that's the story of the Sports Gossip Show. We're like, this thing sucks. And then we're like, however, if you want to give it to us, we would love it.
We just want free stuff.
We're like,
ultimately.
You know what we're like? Do you like the Muppets?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Big fan of the Muppets. You know Statler and Waldorf, the old men Muppets who sit in the box.
I wouldn't know
theater?
their names, but yes, I know what they look like.
Okay, are you Muppet shaming me?
Well, all right.
This feels
I'm
little pointed.
I'm gonna reveal something. If my husband's listening, he's just gonna shake his head.
What?
I did not like as a kid. I really did not care about like animated things.
Okay.
Things like the Muppets. They just didn't do it for me. Like I watched Oprah as a kid, and I watched reality. Like I watched The Real World as a kid, which I don't know if that was the best idea, but I loved it.
Madeline sitting there in front of a Ken Burns doc and being like, "This is the good."
No, I didn't know. I just watched like MTV, VH1, and Oprah every day. After
like
school.
No Sesame Street.
Could not care less.
No Mr. Rogers.
I mean, of course I've seen it. It's not like I'm like I haven't seen it. I didn't live under a rock. But like if it was that or like an episode of My Super Sweet 16.
As like a 8-year-old.
Oh yeah, Laguna Beach, The Hills, The Real World, America's Next Top Model. The show on VH1 that was like about rich people. Do you remember? And it was like that guy's voice was like, "Hello, I am."
Yes. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Robin.
Yes. Robin Leach.
I
watched all that. Anyways, so
look,
sorry guys.
I'm not shocked. I'm surprised. I'm not shocked. It sort of tracks.
It does track. It's like, oh, I'm into gossip. Of course. Well,
like I watched that in like late middle school and high school.
But
I was a big like kids show.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I watched SpongeBob. Like it's again, I watched it.
You don't have to qualify any of this, Madeline. Who you are is beautiful and it's okay.
No, I watched it, but like if it was that or The Real World, I would pick The Real World.
Wow.
Any day.
So cosmopolitan.
I was such a cosmopolitan. Oh,
okay, so yeah, totally. I loved the Muppets.
Okay. Yes, I know who these two guys are. Yeah, okay.
And that's us. Sitting there like laughing at everything.
Okay,
but then we're like, but also
invite us.
We'd like to be a part of it.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways,
Anne Hathaway was at a Knicks game.
I love her.
With her son. OG ran into her and it didn't look it looked okay. It wasn't like a terrible. She was clearly fine. She was laughing. She loved it. The popcorn went everywhere. Yeah. And then she went on Instagram the next day in a selfie video and was like, "Thank you, OG. That was a bucket list item."
Yes.
I was like, bucket of popcorn list item.
Okay. See what you did there.
And I thought that was like a really cute thing that happened.
I love it. I love that she's such a huge Knicks fan. Anne Hathaway, if you want to come on the pod and talk about the Knicks.
I would love to talk to Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway, one of the most maligned women
I love her.
In the 20s to 10s. She is an amazing actress, amazing singer, very earnest person. Talk to us about the Knicks.
Please. And also, let me just sit here and recite every line of The Devil Wears Prada, because I'm pretty confident in saying this. I know every single line in that movie.
That tracks.
Again, tracks for a kid who did not watch animated shows. I just watched The Devil Wears Prada. Rewind. Play again.
Florals for Spring?
Groundbreaking.
I was watching like A Fish Called Wanda with Kevin Kline.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but I would put that in the same category as me.
Yeah, I was that way with movies. Like I was watching things because my parents were like, whatever.
Oh, my parents refused to take me to children's movies, which I'm like, maybe it would have been better for my development to go see like.
Did you ever see Shrek in a theater?
I mean, maybe I did, but I've seen it. I don't know if I saw it in a theater.
Really like
the only movie I really remember seeing in a theater was like, not The Lion King. This is not even going to help my case.
What?
It's not going to help my case. Napoleon Dynamite. Stop. That doesn't even count. It's not animated. That's just like an indie movie. Oh, God.
That is so not animated.
Well, switching gears a little bit, the show Inside the NBA is sticking around, which, for people who don't know what Inside the NBA is or what that sentence even means, can you provide an additional little bit of context?
I would truly be honored. So Inside the NBA is the premier pregame, halftime, and postgame show for TNT Sports with their NBA package. So the way that broadcast rights work for leagues is that different media companies bid on them. They come to agreements, sign massive contracts, and then they have exclusive rights along with usually a few other media partners to broadcast those games. TNT has been one of them along with ESPN and ABC for a long time now. And so this panel is made up of former players, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley, and then the legendary host Ernie Johnson. So these four guys sit up there, and Inside the NBA is the equivalent, Madeline, that you and I came to before we started recording. It would be like if Bravo were at risk of losing all of their Real Housewife franchises and Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah, that would not be good.
No,
that would not be.
It would be like the Real House. So because here's what happened: the NBA, the rights were up, the rights agreement, and they agreed to new deals. And it was between TNT had the ability to match any proposed new deal. David Zaslav, head of Warner Brothers, didn't want to pay the amount that he would have had to pay. So now, starting in the 2025-2026 season, the rights will be with ESPN and ABC having the most games, NBC having a package, and Amazon streaming a package.
Right.
So TNT sued because they were like, you told us we could match. We want to match the Amazon one. And the NBA was like, that's the cheapest one. Yeah. It was a whole mess. They get to keep doing this show. Everyone was so worried because it's on TNT and TNT lost the broadcast rights.
Yeah.
With this favorite show because it's irreverent, it's funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Have amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
It is the gold standard of sports pre-post halftime shows.
In the same way that Watch What Happens Live is the gold standard of kooky late night reality TV deep dive analysis.
It is. There's a magic to it.
There's a magic to it. Would you argue, I don't feel like this is wrong saying this.
Okay.
Would you say that Ernie Johnson is the Andy Cohen of sports broadcasting?
I would say that the four of them together are the Andy Cohen. Because they are so ridiculous. They have all these little bits they do, like whenever.
You're so right. It's like all of them combined. They're a super Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen is such a big personality that he is for sports broadcasters.
That's so true. I would love to see a crossover.
Oh my God.
And Inside the NBA and Watch What Happens. But they could do one. They could have Larsa Pippen on.
Done.
Who is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, who then was dating Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan.
Who I had the pleasure
and she also is a Real Housewife.
She's a Real Housewife. Yeah, I interviewed her, and then she said that I was a loser. It was amazing, along with Pablo Torre. We interviewed her on Pablo Torre Finds Out.
Yes.
And then she was quoted in the Post a month later. She said the miserable Pablo Torre and the losers who did the show or something. It was a crowning achievement for me.
Iconic though.
Yeah.
Should frame that.
So yeah, they are. But the thing about this, Madeline, about Inside the NBA continuing is that they are doing it a licensing deal so that TNT is going to keep producing the show. They will just license it to ESPN, which is amazing.
That's amazing.
Because they're going to keep it in the same studio, probably. The same people are going to be producing it. It'll be in Atlanta still. And I think people don't always realize the amount that producers matter in broadcasting.
Right.
You can have the most amazing chemistry. You can have really funny people. But if the production doesn't support that and understand that and, you know, come up with bits and things to do that make sense in that world, like if it had gone to ESPN, it could have just like totally flopped because the producers are like, oh, we don't know how to make that. But they get to stay with their people.
Oh,
and those people get to keep their jobs.
That's so great. Keep people employed. Mm-hmm. What do we always say?
Keep Aaron Rodgers employed.
We almost got through this whole episode without mentioning him.
There's no update this
there's
week.
No
except
update.
That the Jets still suck.
No, they still suck. And he'll probably say something next week that we'll have to talk about before Thanksgiving.
So we'll take our reprieve.
We'll take our reprieve then. Well, I'm so excited. I love that show. I mean, to me, it is like reality talk show television vibes.
It is.
It's not, I mean, I know they're analyzing the games, but it's more like their rapport and the banter that they have with each other that's engaging and why people stick around, I feel like.
Totally. I find myself laughing out loud at that show anytime I watch
That's great. Well, I'm so happy. Inside the NBA, thank God.
Rock on.
Thank God.
Also, if any of you guys want to come on the sports gossip show.
Ernie Johnson.
Oh my God. Ernie.
Please.
Ernie might do it.
I feel like we could get him on. We could get him on.
Okay, here's a big thing we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Madeline, did you see, okay, this is, sometimes I feel insane when I talk about things that are so obviously a generation after me. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm about to try to talk about something on TikTok, so
go for it.
Did you see the video of Livvy Dunne, who is a gymnast on the LSU gymnastics team and an unbelievable NIL star? Like, she's making so much money off her name, image, and likeness in college sports. She is dating Paul Skenes, who is a rookie for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I did see this.
They were sitting on a couch. She's in red dress. They're about to learn whether Paul is Rookie of the Year or not for the National League. And I don't even know how to explain this video.
So they're sitting on this couch. It kind of looks like one of those draft videos where there's a camera just pointing on the family when a player's about to be drafted by a team, like during a draft. I just said the word draft way too many times. And they're sitting there, and it's announced that he has won the award. And he reacts as if someone just said, I'm going to the grocery store. He's just kind of like, if you're watching this on video, like he's like kind of just like, yep, no expression. She is obviously very animated and excited, rightfully so. She had the appropriate reaction.
She did.
They lean in for, I mean, it was the weirdest exchange. It was like a hug. What was she going in for a kiss?
He ends up kissing her neck.
It's so weird.
And
he's also like, his energy is like a 3 and she's like a 10.
Oh man. And it's part of it too. She posted a video of it. So clearly her phone is recording underneath whatever screen they're looking at to find out whether he won or not.
Right.
So she wants this for her social media.
Yeah.
She wants a reaction. She's like, babe, you won.
Yeah, right.
And he's just like, yes, and if you could pick up some tortilla chips while you're out, that would be great.
That is his reaction. It's like the most mundane. It's
smiling.
He's smiling. He's not unhappy. It's
like,
just,
but it is like someone said, I'm going to get you a snack you like.
Yeah. And you're just like, great. Oh, awesome. Thanks. Actually, I think that reaction would have been more animated. If you said to me, I got your favorite snack, I'd have a more extreme reaction.
What's your favorite snack?
I love a chip, a barbecue baked lay.
Ooh.
That is my favorite kind of dirt. You don't like that?
No, I do.
You just look like you're going to throw up.
No. I was trying not to laugh. Something about specifying that it's a baked lay is like really funny to me.
I love a barbecue baked lay, but I've also really been into, I'm not gluten-free, but there are these gluten-free Dijon mustard pretzels.
Wait, are they dots? No,
but I love a Dots. They're not gluten-free. I had them for the first time on a Delta flight, and I was like, damn, these are good. And then I found them in the grocery store, and I bought a full-size bag, and I have eaten the full-size bag by myself before on many occasions. They're really good.
Finding a snack on a plane and going to seek out that snack in real life is one of the funnier snack-related expeditions you can go on.
100%. Can we also talk about something on planes?
Yeah.
You know, if you're ever sitting in like Delta Comfort, okay, you know, you've made it. You've stepped bougie, step above economy. You know, you have like 1 extra inch of legroom that doesn't make a difference whatsoever. But if you're in that section, to make it feel quote unquote fancier, they pass around the basket with snacks, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be like Sun Chips, Biscoff cookies, these pretzels, nuts, whatever.
Belgian cookies, sometimes pistachios, garden salsa, Sun Chips.
Always a garden. Why always garden salsa?
Who decided on this flavor?
That feels like they messed up and made too many of that flavor. And they're like, Delta can have them. Put them in the mini bags for Delta. Those are for Delta.
Or it's like designed to be super salty because you know how they're always like, you lose a third of your taste buds on a plane. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm interrupting.
No, I mean, I'm not about to say anything important. So, but you know, when they shove that basket in front of your face, they always, the stress to pick your snacks so quickly. There's nothing more embarrassing. I panic and I always end up with a snack I didn't want. Like the granola bar. Why do I pick that?
Oh, you can't pick the granola bar.
Why? I
do
don't
you take
want
multiples?
It. Yes, I always take multiples.
I take two. And sometimes I panic and take 3 because I'm thinking about future me being mad that I didn't get the thing that I wanted.
Correct. But the pressure to pick that snack. I mean, I would say this even applies across when you're in economy too, when they're pushing the cart and they're like, we have one option.
You just have fewer choices. If you want.
Right. You have fewer choices. But it's something about the basket being like shoved in your face.
It's like, you know what it is for me? It's like trivia. Like if you ask me what's your favorite snack or like what snack would you like, I'd be like, ooh, if I could have like, get me sour cream and onion ruffles, that would be amazing.
Ooh, yum.
Great. If we're having a casual conversation, you're like, who is second all time most 3-pointers made in the NBA? I'd be like, it's James Harden. If you put me in a trivia situation and you say name one NBA player, I can't do it.
Can't do it.
I freeze.
Can't do it.
I panic.
Can't do it.
Feels like a standardized test.
No.
I hate them.
No. Well, I'll let you know. I'm going to a trivia thing on Thursday, and it's a pop culture trivia. So we'll see. But I also feel like I'm going to panic and I'm going to get no questions.
No, but
right.
see, it's different. Is it like sitting at tables where you write things down?
I think so. Yeah,
that feels different to me.
Oh, then
if you're on the spot and someone is quizzing you, it's horrific.
It's horrible. I think
you'll do well.
We'll see. But I also think, you know, now what I'm realizing, I think we need to be a little bit more empathetic to people on game shows who get very easy questions wrong, because the pressure. You're not only on TV, but you're standing there and you have to immediately answer something. It's like, I'm at the comfort of my couch, eating my baked lace, watching this and yelling at the TV, you idiot, why didn't you get that question right? But honestly, we should cut him some slack. I'm just realizing.
I think we really should. You know, I've thought before about auditioning to be on Jeopardy because I think I'm smart or whatever, you know, some bullshit where you're watching TV and you're like, I could do this. You should
go on Jeopardy.
Madeline, I have decided, honestly, I really should just for the entertainment value, because I would get up there and it would be all of these it would be like, there was once a category about sports mascots, and I had just spent like 2 years doing this college football tour where I exclusively hung out with sports and I was like, this was made for me, blah, blah, blah. I could get up there and if that had been a clue that I'd been given, and they would be like, name the bulldog who is the mascot for the University of Georgia. And I would be like, Bevo, the longhorn cow. And they would be like, we just told you it was a bulldog.
Correct. You get it wrong.
So, but it would be funny to watch me panic. Yeah. So I think maybe we should do that.
I think we should do like a sports.
I feel like you would be
gossip
much
trivia.
Calmer.
Yeah. I think we should do that.
Sports gossip trivia.
Would anyone want to go to that?
Oh my God.
If we hosted that? I'm just throwing this out there right now.
That's an unbelievable idea.
If anyone lives in New York, would you be interested if we hosted a sports gossip trivia night? Wow, I'm just making up an idea.
Holy cannoli.
I think that'd be fun.
Thompson.
And if you guys get the questions wrong, it's all good.
Yeah, we don't care.
If anyone's interested in
this is a safe space.
Just let us know.
If anyone wants to sponsor that too, because I don't know if we've said this before.
Yeah, we're doing it
ourselves.
If you're interested in sponsoring a trivia night, info at sportsgossipshow.com.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Great. Okay. Wow.
Anyways, wow.
Back to Livvy Dunne. So they're sitting there.
Yeah.
This is Madeline, I'm about to say something that's going to sound mean. And I don't want, if Paul Skenes hears this, I don't want you to think this is mean.
Okay.
I think it might just be true. Paul Skenes, we've watched a couple videos of him. He seems like a perfectly fine person, but I feel like his defining and most he's tall.
He's tall.
He's a tall man.
Are you saying his personality is just being a tall man?
No. I'm saying he has a lot going for him, and a lot of it is that he's tall.
So like Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, but he seems like a little... He seems like a sad boy who thinks he's a poet, but he's just tall. So you're right.
Have you ever heard? I mean, I love Jacob Elordi.
Same.
He's hot.
He's really hot.
But has he ever seemed in an interview like there's a lot of pizzazz there? He has pizzazz on screen, but he's playing a character.
You know what? Paul Skenes has pizzazz on screen too, because he won NL Rookie of the Year as a pitcher. Also, fun fact, first time in baseball since 2011 that both the National League and American League Rookies of the Year were both pitchers.
Wow, put you in a trivia.
Luis Gill was for the Yankees.
Wow.
Yeah, put me in trivia. I will panic.
No, but because here's what I'm also going to say. Talking about Jacob Elordi, related to tall guy thing.
Who's an actor?
He's an
actor. If you're on the more sports side of things and you don't know.
He's an actor, very tall. His girlfriend is none other than Olivia Jade, the daughter of former Full House cast member Lori Loughlin, who went to prison. Jail? She was in prison.
She was prison
for that college admissions cheating scandal. And I've watched some of Olivia Jade's vlogs. Again, no shade to her. But I feel like their personalities are a match.
Yep.
If you watch it.
I think you're right. I think also that was sports related. We would have had a field day with that because they pretended that their kids rode crew to get into college.
It's so specific.
It's also, unfortunately, very smart.
It's very smart.
Because if you row crew and you're rich, you're probably going to get into whatever school you want to go to.
Correct.
Same with squash, but we won't go there. I think... So
that feels like a niche.
Don't worry about it.
New England.
Livvy Dunne.
Squash? You didn't have squash at my school. Did you have squash at your high school?
Yeah, I played, but I still didn't get into college, which shows you how dire straits I was in, that I played squash and I still didn't get into...
Squash was just available as a sport at your school?
Can we talk about Livvy Dunne?
We had like mediocre, just like the basics. Football, basketball, track and field, swimming, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. And I think that was it.
That's normal. I need to write a book of essays about prep school at some point.
Oh my God, please. I would love that. I was fascinated. Listen, I'm just saying this as a projection because I'm very jealous I didn't get to go to a prep school.
It was traumatic. I've spent years in therapy getting over this, but it was the stories that I have from that. I really should. And also, like, who didn't love, I Am Charlotte Simmons? Did you read that book? The Tom Wolfe book about Duke, and it was like this salacious, it's Gossip Girl prep.
Yeah,
Curtis Sittenfeld.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think there's a market for this book.
There is a market for this book.
We are on some tangents today, and I love it.
Like I was fascinated by all the boarding schools in the Northeast. Like, why am I forgetting the name? Of course, it's like
Andover,
Exeter,
St. Paul's.
I was just fascinated. I'm like, what do you mean your parents just like drop you off and they spend $60,000 a year, and you're just like, goodbye. Crazy.
It is.
It's fascinating.
A wild world.
Fascinating.
Anyways, so Livvy Dunne, she did do an interview with Flau'jae Johnson, who is a star of the basketball team at LSU.
Yeah.
About how she and Paul Skenes met because he was a pitcher on the LSU baseball team. She went to a game. She was like, "Who's that tall guy? He's cute." She literally said, Madeline, who's that tall guy?
Who's that tall guy?
Like she said, I'd seen him around campus and he was tall. So I don't think that I'm like off base by saying Paul Skenes is tall.
He's just tall. He seems like a nice guy, but also he's tall.
He's tall.
So congrats. Do you think guys have said that about me being tall when I was dating people?
No. You're tall.
It doesn't work the same way. But it's not like
all she's got going for her is that she's tall.
I also don't think it works the same way. Women I feel like aren't given the same treatment in that department for height.
No, you don't get the same respect.
I know I have
tall.
nothing wrong with me being tall, but it's just not the same.
No,
it's not the same.
A man being tall can get away with
anything. A woman being tall, they're like, well,
they notice you, and sometimes that's not good.
Correct.
You're like, I'd like to just fly under the radar.
This one. I know, like some days I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to be like 5'6", 5'5". Just to see what it's like.
I wonder what it. You know what is interesting though is that next to you, I'm shorter than you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, is this what people feel like most of the time?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm like, it's a.
So I'm humbling you.
Yeah, it's important. It's like really good for my personal growth.
That's like me when I stand next to my brother. My brother's 6'7".
No way.
He's giant.
Really?
He's so tall.
Yeah, and you're like, this is what...
He's so tall. But actually, I have to say something about being a tall woman, though. I don't know if you feel this way, because you're in the tall category. Every time I would go on dates with guys who were really tall, I felt weird. It was like too much. I feel like for society, it's too much. It's just too much to look at when there's two giants coming in together. It's too much. Our kids would be like 7'2".
They would be. Well, also, then they could pay for college themselves because they get a scholarship.
And they're not playing squash.
Your kids could still be tall.
They're playing
volleyball, basketball, crew.
No, anyways.
That's really all I have on that.
Yeah, okay.
But I think it took us to some amazing places.
It really did.
The Chiefs finally lost.
They lost to the Buffalo Bills.
They sure did.
Wow.
So, and here's the thing. Everyone was billing this. I didn't even do that on purpose. Don't sue me. They were like, oh, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, quarterback of the Bills. We talked about him when we talked about his and his girlfriend, Haley Steinfeld's Halloween party.
Oh, yes.
Everyone's like, and Patrick Mahomes, you probably know who he is by now, the quarterback of the Chiefs. Everyone was like, oh, it's this rivalry. But for the most part, like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have just kicked the Bills' ass like multiple times in very high profile situations. The Chiefs came in undefeated and the Buffalo Bills ended their streak. They had not lost a game. Kansas City hadn't lost a game since last December.
Can I say, I think I even know when.
When?
Christmas 2023. Exactly.
Oh my
Can you
God.
believe I know that fact? I really wanted to just name drop a football fact.
That's incredible.
Is that right?
Are we in 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah, then yes.
Was it Christmas? It was
Christmas. Damn. Look at you.
What's up?
Oh,
that's what's up.
Sports.
I know. Look at me.
Maven.
Sorry, I just had to interrupt.
No, I love. Please
to just drop a football.
Because I didn't know it was Christmas.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Christmas.
I only knew it was December, and you're right. It was Christmas.
Okay.
So anyway, the Chiefs are undefeated no longer, which I think is probably better.
Yeah, I think so too. It's better for their ego.
Yeah, there's a big game tonight in the NBA. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers and my Boston Celtics. Ooh. And the Cavs are undefeated. They're 15-0.
It's crazy.
Which nobody saw coming.
With Tristan Thompson still employed by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Do you
think Kardashian's father for children / I guess ex. I don't know if they're together anymore.
Do you think... No, I just answered it as I thought of it. Khloe Kardashian would not go to Boston ever.
No.
She should. TD Garden, real fun time.
I have a question about schedule.
Yes.
Will the Cleveland Cavaliers play the Knicks? Because
I see where. Okay, let me look.
So
this
my
up
question, the reason why I'm asking this question is, as we know, Karl Anthony Towns was traded to the Knicks. We talked about this a few weeks ago. His girlfriend is Jordyn Woods, who is the woman who may or may not have had relations or hooked up with or done things with Tristan Thompson. If the Knicks play the Cavs at MSG, is that happening?
And they do.
Oh my God.
When is it? Cavs at Knicks, April 11th, 2025. Knicks at Cavs, February 25th.
That is
21st. So, but that doesn't matter because Jordyn wouldn't travel to Cleveland.
No.
And then Knicks at Cavs again, April 2nd. Oh, so one of the last games of the regular season is Cavs at Knicks.
We're going.
We should get tickets now.
Are you kidding me?
I would say we should get credentialed, but the Knicks hate me.
I know we already talked about that.
We could try anyway.
I mean, could you imagine? Could you even imagine?
That is like our Super Bowl.
That is our Super Bowl.
Well, the Super Bowl is also our Super Bowl.
But that is our Super Bowl. Oh my God.
Knicks at Cavs. Cavs at Knicks.
Wow. Interesting. Well, speaking of the Celtics.
Yeah.
Their head coach, Joe Mazzulla, who is known for saying some crazy things, which also, speaking of Jeopardy, I don't know if you saw this, but he was part of a Jeopardy clue. The clue was Boston Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla has admitted to watching this heist film directed by Ben Affleck several times a week.
Say my name.
Charlotte.
What is the town?
Ding, ding, ding. Correct. Okay, so just had to say that. He's been saying some crazy things recently.
He's been off his...
What's going on?
Ever-loving rocker.
What's going on? So
Joe Mazzulla, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. This is one thing. Joe Mazzulla won a championship with the Celtics. He says things that if another coach said them, the coach would like laugh afterwards and be like, "I'm in on the joke with you."
Yeah.
For example, Madeline, can you read what he said about the Celtic City Edition jerseys?
So he was asked if he likes the Celtic City Edition jerseys, and he said, "quote Yeah, they're nice." And then they followed up and said, "What do you like about them?" And he said, "quote They say Celtics on them."
So that's the kind of thing. Someone says that, and then they're like, haha, like a little wink. Joe Mazzulla, I don't know if I've ever seen him smile.
No,
and
I actually don't think I've seen him smile either.
He's dead behind the eyes.
So dead
and
behind
he
the eyes.
says the funniest things with no acknowledgement. He also says the most messed up things. Like a few weeks ago, I don't know if we talked about this he was like, I think we should have more fighting in the NBA. And it's like, no, dude, no, definitely should not.
No.
And he's just like, he's so...
All right, wait, sorry. Related to him not smiling, I just Googled Joe Mazzulla from them winning the national championship.
Yeah.
The closest photo I can find of him smiling is he's about to lift up the trophy. I don't know if you can see this.
And it's
he's got like a
it's a Paul Skenes finding out he's Rookie of the Year smile.
No, yes. But then when you go look at his photos with the trophy, deadpan. No emotion.
So
you're with the
you
championship.
Just won.
You just won. And he looks like he's taking a DMV photo.
He really does.
Joe Mazzulla.
Maybe that was doing double duty. Maybe he was like, I need to renew my license.
He's like, I need a new passport photo on a clean backdrop.
Can we just use this?
Can we use this?
He's also said things like when he kissed the floor at ring night and he said the floor tasted like blood. No, just kidding. I wish. He also said like they have a target right between their eyes. He said like losing is as good as winning. Like this man is a caricature of like a hardo coach.
Yes.
I went to a press conference. Miami Heat the Celtics were at the Heat. I went to Mazzulla's press conference after the game, and he was wearing a shirt that said "God, Coffee, and you couldn't see the bottom of the shirt because it was cut off from the table. He stands up. It says "Jiu-Jitsu." And someone was like, "What's with your shirt?" And he said, "I had it made."
What? That's crazy. Can I say something about him?
Please.
I really, unfortunately, am going to say something that's maybe a little bit upsetting to you as a Celtics fan.
I've probably thought it myself.
Is Joe Mazzulla, in some ways, the Aaron Rodgers of the Celtics?
Don't do that to me.
He says things that are just kind of bizarre. I mean, I think what Aaron Rodgers says, in my personal opinion, are more controversial. Actual things he says. But come on, you can't tell me there's not some truth in there.
No, look, here's the thing. You're right. This does upset me.
If Joe Mazzulla said in a press conference, I'm going to go spend 3 days in the dark, you would think he said that. Would you not? In the same way that Aaron Rodgers went on like a dark retreat.
So here's the thing. You have said something that I'm just now realizing I have been trying not to admit to myself for a very long time. And I just hope to the heavens above, don't ask Joe Mazzulla about anything besides basketball. Just don't. Keep this man employed and don't veer from the script, everybody. Don't give him any runway. For example,
Charlotte's not well.
For example, I am very unwell. Last season, the Prince and Princess of Wales, for some reason, were at a Celtics game. Okay. And he said, and someone asked him, what did you think of the royal family being there? And Joe Mazzulla said, I only believe in one royal family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
That's not.
And so don't even ask him about that.
Don't. I think if we actually put some quotes up, we can maybe do this at the trivia where it's who said it. Is it Aaron Rodgers or Joe Mazzulla? Because I think it would be pretty difficult at times.
Okay.
Who said it?
Unfortunately, my brain is so broken that I would know each quote.
Yeah, well, you can't participate. We're just hosting the trivia.
If I didn't know them, I would have no idea.
I would have no idea. Couldn't tell you. Except the town. I know that's Joe Mazzulla.
This is really upsetting.
I'm sorry.
You're right, though.
I've rocked your world.
You have. This is genius. This is upsettingly smart. This is...
Oh, man.
All right, while I recover, will you just tell people about the Cowboys?
Yeah, sorry, Charlotte, but the Cowboys are a mess. They're literally falling apart, and I'm not even saying this figuratively. Their stadium, a piece of metal yesterday at the game, before the game happened, no one was injured. The Texans-Cowboys game, a piece of the ceiling collapsed when they it's the first time they've opened it, I think. It was like they opened the heavens. They opened the roof, I think. And when they did that, a piece of metal just came falling down from the ceiling. The Cowboys are 3-7. Mm-hmm. Their quarterback, Dak Prescott, is out with a hamstring injury, and he's getting surgery or recovering from surgery. Is that right?
Season ending.
Season ending. Jerry Jones, their owner, was on the Netflix stream of the We Will Not Discuss boxing match that kept cutting out, and he just was like buffering the whole time, which I guess Jerry Jones buffering is, no one's really mad about that, I guess. No. But they just seem like such a mess. What is going on?
Mess.
A mess.
Jerry Jones has tried to hold on to control of this team in a way that I think the cracks are, well, I mean, literally the cracks are starting to show. The piece of the stadium fell out. That's something, Madeline, that like if that happened before I was playing a game or reporting on a game or watching a game as a fan, I'd be like, I don't feel safe in here at all.
No.
That's like if you're driving your car and like one little screw falls off, you're like, okay, hold on a second.
Something's wrong.
What other screw is going to fall off? That's
right.
a bigger problem.
The other shoe is
like no
drop.
one was hurt. It fell down. Everybody was okay. It landed on the turf.
You know when it's like there's just signs from Mother Nature and the world, not to be woo-woo.
Oh, no. But yes.
But it's like all signs are pointing to chaos. And I feel like Jerry Jones needs to let go.
Jerry Jones
needs to let go.
I'm going to, hold on.
Because I feel like he's holding on to a Cowboys era that just is not what's happening anymore. Because they used to be good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
That's what I mean.
They have not done anything for anybody.
And he's been the owner since then.
He is the owner, president, and GM.
Oh,
so
Jerry
Jones is 82, and he is the one making the decisions about this roster. He's the one hiring the coaches. He's the one putting it all together. Feels a little bit like karma.
100%.
Which is nice. Yeah. But also, like, karma clearly doesn't extend that far into the universe if we're, like, where we are generally. So it's like, well, I guess karma is, like, specific to sports. Yeah. Karma's like, karma's a sports fan.
Yeah. They need to have, like, a coup inside the organization.
So this is very interesting. You could make an incredible television show, Succession style, about a Jerry Jones, because his 3 kids work for him. It's a family business.
HBO, come on. Wait, that'd be so good. I would watch that.
Yeah, same.
That would be great.
I would write on it.
I'd write on it too.
We shouldn't be giving away ideas like this for free.
No.
But yeah, he's worth $15.7 billion. And it's one of those things where it's like, I wish all of the players well on the Cowboys. And for their sake, I wish they could win a championship. Yeah. But it is very sad. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I have a quick thing for you that I need to hit you with.
Let her rip.
I don't know if you saw the breaking news.
No.
But you know the Pop-Tart Bowl?
Yes.
The iconic where they had a Pop-Tart go into a machine at the game last year and then it came out as a real Pop-Tart, but it was like a dead Pop-Tart.
Yep.
You remember that? Well, they just announced they're going to have new mascots.
Get out of town.
They're going to have Frosted Hot Fudge Sundae, Frosted Wild Berry. I think that's maybe the one they already have, or no, maybe not. And a third mystery flavor.
A mystery flavor?
What's it going to be? Do you think it's going to be like savory, something kind of weird?
No.
They
wouldn't do that to us. Do they have cookies and cream?
I feel like they do.
You know, Pop-Tarts give me a headache.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They have always given me a headache.
The chemical.
Must be.
The
stuff in them. I love them.
They're good.
They're so good. You heat those up, underrated.
I don't even think that's underrated. I think, wait, what about toasting them?
That's sort of what I mean. Are you supposed to do that?
Yeah, I don't think they would show that. Yeah, you toast a Pop-Tart.
Oh, that's why he went into the toaster.
Do you put a toaster in a Pop-Tart in the microwave?
No. I usually just eat them out of the package.
I don't remember the last time I had a Pop-Tart, but I feel like we're going to have to do a taste test of these new Pop-Tart flavors if they actually make them. But I love that they're going to have, they have like a whole universe. It's like a Marvel Cinematic Universe of Pop-Tarts. I mean, that truly, if you don't care about sports, that's fine. And you're listening to this just for the off-the-court stuff, obviously. Just Google the Pop-Tart Bowl if you have not seen this. You've probably seen the meme of this Pop-Tart. I mean, it's incredible content.
Basically, Pop-Tart sponsors a college football bowl game.
Yes.
And oh my God, I just thought of something, Madeline.
What?
So it was a guy Pop-Tart last year, right?
What do you mean?
Like he was gendered as like a male.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so. I bet Wildberry is going to be like a feminized pop. Like it's going to have those big lashes and like the white boots that they put on female mascots to be like, it's a lady.
I don't love that.
I don't either, but I bet that's what's going to happen.
That's probably what they're going to do. Well, we'll see.
I just want that on record in case that happens.
I feel like you're right.
That's pretty much it. That's what we've got this week. This was really fun.
This was so fun.
As always, please rate, review, follow, subscribe, all of the things. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, and we have a burgeoning presence on YouTube.
Yes.
And maybe you watched us here, which is amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Please subscribe on those platforms because it really helps us out.
Yeah.
And keep sharing it with your friends. We're so grateful.
Yeah, and tag us. We've gotten a couple of like Instagram story tags.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you can always tag us at Sports Gossip Show if you like a clip of the episode, or we'll repost it.
We sure will.
We will.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.